Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today I'm bringing you guys top 5 tips for new players. Now, these are tips that I wish I knew when I first started playing the game a couple of years ago, and some of these have changed a bit from my original top 5 tips for new players. That video was made, I think, well over a year ago, and the game's changed a lot since then, and hopefully these tips can help out some of you new players. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the list. So coming at number 5, I got a couple of tips for your port and where you can find some stuff, and well, you'll see. Alright guys, so for number 5, it's basically just the port. I'm going to walk you through a couple of tips and tricks that you can use in port to make your life a little bit easier. And port's changed a lot since I first played it, but most of these things are pretty basic. I'm going to mention a couple of things that have been kind of recent additions into the port screen. But let's go ahead and show you some tricks with the port, and let's start off the carousel. This down here, this is your carousel. All of the ships that you own will be displayed on it. Now, you can change what ships you do and do not want to see. There's a filter right here. So, for example, you can see certain tiers. You just click that. I just want to see my tier 1 ships. Just want to see my tier 10 ships, so forth and so on. What nation? I just want to see my American ships. There they are. And depending upon what type of ship they are, I want to see my tech line ships. There you go. I want to see ships that have commanders on it, and the ships without commanders, I don't want to see those. They're all the way over here at the end. So this is all of my ships with commanders, and this is very useful if you just have a couple of high tier captains and a high point captain. You just shift them around a bunch. So that's the way you can make your carousel a bit less cluttered. And you can also change how many rows you want to have on your carousel. You can go up to 4, which with the amount of ships that I have, I still have a bit of scrolling to get through before I can see all of them. But right now I like seeing it just at 2. And if you don't want 2 rows, you can just hit 1 row, and you can see all the nice artwork for the ships, but this would take me quite some time to get to my European ship, so I just like 2 rows because I just like the way it looks. It's not cluttering the screen too much, and it's still fairly quick for me to scroll from one end to the other. And for the recommended mode that you want, unsuitable ships, those are the ones that are grayed out, and now that I have hide unsuitable ships, you can see it just shows me everything that I have. So again, if I just want commander ships, there you go, bye bye with the ships without commanders on them. Alright, another trick in port, well, not really a trick, but it's something you may want to know. Your messaging, it's all down here on this bottom row. I just have a bunch up because of the channel and such. You want to start a conversation, hit this thing, go to your contacts. You can select someone from your contacts, search for their name. Now, I'm not going to lie, this system is very old and kind of archaic, and World of Warships, it kind of needs to be redone. But it is what it is, and that's how you need to do that. You probably won't be using that too much. I would actually recommend using Discord or something if you want to chat with someone while playing the game. But anyway, moving on, in port containers, you get 3 containers per day. One when you reach 2,000 XP, one at 12,500, one at 37,000. So when you collect a container, you can choose what type of container you want. If you're starting out, you probably just want to go with more credits, because credit earning, while from tier 1 to tier 5, it's pretty easy. Once you get above tier 5, it becomes more of a grind. So I would recommend you going with more credits or going with more resources. More resources will give you a higher chance of getting more coal in your containers. Now, the resource containers, they still more than likely give you some signal flags on top of the coal. As you're about to see here, I'm sure I'm about to get some coal. Maybe one, I'd say more than likely just 1 bag of coal, and then flag and some consumables. Oh, here we go. Coal, flag, and free XP. So again, I'm going to try again with the coal containers. Probably another bag of coal, flag, and probably a consumable. Maybe some more XP. Let's see. And yep, coal, 2 flags. So the coal containers, I would say they're your best bet if you don't want to go for the I always say escape when I'm not done looking at my containers. I would always recommend going for the coal or the consumable or the credit containers if you're starting off. So some other important things to import. If you want to go to the premium shop, it's right there. Depending on your internet connection, this could take like 2 seconds or 20 minutes sometimes. But if you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend spending any money just yet. Your combat missions, here they are. Challenges. These are your the missions that the game gives you. If you want to track your progress, they are here. Your personal assignments, which is where most of your challenges you're going to get are going to be at. And you see, if you buy a premium ship, it tells you more boost you have. So like for the Poltava, I played 10 games in it when I was reviewing it, and I still have 25 missions with a boost in it. And these are currently the legendary modules for my tier 10 ships. As you can see, I have quite a few that I'm still working on. And again, if you need to track anything, that's where you're going to find it. Now, your rewards, you get a certain amount of rewards every day for completing certain missions. You want to see what you got, just hover your mouse over here, or you can click it and it gives you a solid box that you can scroll through and see what you got. Up here's the directives for the special events, normally in some type of, for example, some type of artwork up here. You click on that, you can see how you're standing in that. I just got 2 more containers to grind, and this directive for the British Heavy Cruiser event, and then you gotta wait a couple of days for the next one to unlock, and that's normally how that works. So up here with your name, in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you click this. This is your account information. This number right here, this is your karma. That's how many times you have been complimented by other players. If you get reported for some type of whatever happened, some type of action that the player didn't approve of, that number will go down. Mine is currently sitting at 165. And that may seem like a lot, but there's some people with like 400 and 500. And when you click onto your name, you can see your service record. And this doesn't really mean a whole lot, honestly. It just kind of tells you, what you unlock at what level, because when you first start off, you're going to have a level next to your name, and then you're slowly going to build up to whatever, and then I think you eventually unlock like random battles and ranked battles from your level. Really won't matter after the first like week of playing the game. If you want to see how many achievements you got, you can go here and see every single achievement in the game and how many times you have gotten it. As you can see, not secondary armaments expert, close quarters expert is my most awarded achievement. Thank you, Kerr first. And you can see how many times you've gotten each one. For example, Kraken, I've gotten 34 Kraken unleashes, 26 double strikes, 22 detonations. Those are fun. 18 diehards, so forth and so on. Rank, if you get into playing ranked, you can check all the information here. Collections, this is something new that they added not that long ago, and you can unlock these artifacts or whatever they want to call them from random containers, and you can complete collections and get rewards for them. So for example, the where are you at, Yamamoto? Oh well, let's just choose one. So the 3-year World of Warships anniversary collection. So these are normally for the anniversary collections, just moments from throughout the year when various things were introduced. And you just get these in containers. You don't have to... there's not a whole lot you can do for them. Sometimes they offer... well, actually, most of the time, they offer containers you can buy, but I wouldn't do that. You just get these by playing the game. And down here, this is the reward you get for completing this individual part of the collection. Up here is the big reward you get for completing the entire collection. And down here is summary. Ooh, that lagged a little bit. This is your overall stats. You can see this on the World of Warships stat page. If you want to see the breakdown of your ships and whatnot and your performance, this is all right here. So that's my stats. Enjoy looking at that. Also, if you want to, where did they put it at now? Did they kind of hide it? Nah, here it is. Your inventory. This is probably going to be your best friend for a new player. In your inventory, you can see all of the pieces and upgrades from ships that you grinded through that you don't need anymore. So, for example, let's say you're grinding... well, that's taking forever to load. Let's say you are grinding through... let's go jump to the American line since I talked about them yesterday. You grind through the Colorado. All these modules right here, the A-hull, this base range gunfire control system, and the engine, you can sell this to get your money back in your inventory. And since you have the upgraded ship, that's literally just, you're not using it at all. Go sell it. Get your credits. Get some of your credits back. And let's see if it's going to load this time. Here we go. So I have all these modules that I could sell. And my god, I do need to get rid of some of this stuff. No wonder it's taking forever to load. See, I have 407 items I could sell. I could sell all of this and get millions of credits if I want to. And I probably do need to do that. You do the same thing with... whoops. Do the same thing with signals that you don't want, special flags you don't want, camouflages that you don't want and may never use. And good god, I could become part of a billionaire if I would sell some of this stuff. But anyway, that's where you want to go if you do that. Also, just to, I'm going to leave you with this because, again, this section's already like 10 minutes long and I don't want this to be like a 30-minute video. The last tip I had for you in port is make sure if you're putting on your any type of special camouflage, make sure you have auto supply re-enabled as long as you have some amount left, because that will save you some aggravation of missing out on having that boost from that camouflage from the next game. And sometimes you have a very good game, you won't have your signal flags enabled, and that's very, 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 very frustrating. Now there is a box down here. As long as this box isn't clicked, it will not charge you for your flags. As long as you have some of them in port, it will just keep drawing from that supply. But if you have this box clicked, it will charge you credits or doubloons if you have them to resupply that flag or that module or that consumable. It works the same way for the consumables over here. So make sure you have it checked. And if you're fine with spending the credits, make sure you have this box checked when you run out, because the consumables, I run out of those all the time because of the amount of ships that I play. Make sure you have that checked if you want to get more. Now, if you're a bit strained on credits, just click that and it won't automatically resupply and won't charge you for it. But I do recommend just keeping that checked if you're playing and you have an okay amount of consumables for now. Alright, moving on to number 4, I have communicate with your team. Communication is key in this game, and far too people communicate with each other. This was true a year ago and it's very true today. So some things you can do is just when you get into battle, just type in the chat, hey guys, where we're going, what caps are going for, who's going where. And if you can just communicate with each other, that right there is more than likely going to put you above the enemy team. Because so often teams don't communicate. No one really knows where everyone else is going. And if you just have, heck, if you have 3 people communicating together, that can be the group of 3 that dominates the waters for your team. And never underestimate the power of communication. This is a team game without a lot of team play a lot of time. So if you can make that happen, you got a huge advantage over the enemy team. Alright, moving on to number 3 is just be aware of your surroundings. If you hold down right mouse, you can rotate the camera around freely without worrying about rotating your turrets or anything. And that is a huge part of this game, is just being aware of your surroundings. Because you do have the mini-map right there, which you should be looking at. But you also don't want to get tunnel vision. And every time you zoom in, I suggest you zoom in, fire your salvo, pop out, check your surroundings, make sure you're not sailing into a line of torpedoes. That happens so much. And make sure you're not about to leave the cover that you were in, or you aren't about to stray too far away from your team. Just be aware. And again, if you're doing that, it's going to put you above a lot of people, because as some of you guys have been playing for some time know, there's a whole lot of derpy people who play this game and just sell straight into stuff that they weren't even aware of, because they were too busy trying to snipe a battleship all the way in the back or a carrier all the way in the back. So that's also why, if you watch my videos, like after every salvo, I pop out, look left, look right, go back into the viewfinder, because I've been screwed over so many times by that. I've now learned to be aware of where I am and what I'm sailing towards. So make sure you're doing that. Okay, moving on to number 2. If you have torpedoes, for the love of God, do not launch them from behind your teammates. Don't do it. Friendly fire is a thing in this game. There's only 1 or 2 modes without it. So do not fire your torpedoes from behind your friendlies. Now, even if you type into chat, hey guys, I'm going to dump torpedoes into this cap, I promise you 1 or 2 people actually read that, Everyone else is too preoccupied with what they're doing right now. So never trust them to be aware. And if you've watched my channel for some time, watched my streams, it never fails. Especially in the last couple of streams, I always get torpedoed by friendlies that fired from behind me. And in the video you're watching now used to be a clip of where a Brindisi almost torpedoes me, and I'm in the Stalingrad. Stalingrad doesn't have that great of torpedo protection. It just has a lot of health, so it can deal with it. So I almost ate a full salvo of torpedoes because this Brindisi thought that he could just drop his torpedoes from behind me without giving me any warning. And again, even if you give them warning, don't do it. It's a bad idea, and you don't want to turn pink because no one's going to like you after you turn pink. And for those who don't know, you turning pink, that means you've caused a lot of friendly damage in your game, and you have that burden with you for the next couple of games. If you do it anymore, you're going to be restricted to just co-op mode, where I do believe there is no friendly fire, but I don't play co-op all that much, so I'm not 100% sure, but you'll be banned there, and that's just you fighting against bots, and you don't earn near as much near as much credits and XP in that mode. So be careful. Don't fire a torch from behind your friendlies. Get in front of them. Dump your torps. Then if you want to be behind them, then go behind them. But do not fire torpedoes from behind your friendlies. And now moving on to number 1. Have fun. This is a game. It's a video game. Those people that take it way too seriously, don't get drawn into their mindset. This is a game. Games are meant to are meant for you to have fun. If you want to do something silly every now and then, go for it. Don't take the game too seriously, especially if you're playing random battles. Random battles, it's random battles. Ranked is where all the serious stuff is supposed to happen. And yes, I don't mean to go just charge straight at the enemy team. I mean, you don't have to do the exact same strategy on every map every time like some people make you believe. Because there are some people, when you load into the game, they'll say, okay, we need to go A and B on this map because we spawned in the north side and we spawned with 2 BBs over here and a cruiser over there and a carrier right there. So their spawn position is on the eastern side, and they only have 1 BB over here. And because there are seriously people that take random battles that seriously. You do not have to be that person. Now, if they're communicating and people are going along with them, then yes, you may want to go along with them. But you do not have to be that person. That's what I'm trying to say. Just have fun, and I promise you, some of my funnest games I've had have been absolute crushing defeats for my team because we tried something a bit silly and we went to just have fun. So many mid-rushes on 2 brothers that ended in chaos for my team, but it was fun. So many silly tactics that I managed to convince my team to use. Even in super competitive modes like clan battles, my clan runs sometimes just destroyer onlys or light cruiser only groups that, you know, they're not going to work, but we want to have fun. That's at the end of the day, this is a game. Go out there, have fun, and have a good time. That's the point of this. It's a game. Don't take it too seriously. And with this too, if you are having a stroke of bad luck, because yes, losing time after time after time is infuriating, take a break. It's not worth getting angry over. Trust me, I've raged many times at this game when I really shouldn't. And you know, I've even broken my monitor. Well, actually, my monitor has a crack in it now, but it's nothing too extreme. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I really let this pixel boat game get me so mad that I broke my $500 4K monitor. It's stupid. It sounds stupid. It is stupid, and I felt dumb after doing that. You know, it's not worth getting upset over. It's a game. It's meant to have fun. Take a break if you're getting that mad. Go watch some of Euro's videos to get some chuckles, and then come back and continue if you want, or heck, go play another game. It's just a game. Have fun. That's my best tip to new players. Alright guys, hope this helped out some of you newer players, and some of you older players too. Let me know if you found out anything new. I mean, most of the stuff is pretty basic, especially the port section, but that's really what I would tell most new players. You know, as far as line starting, I answered that question yesterday. If you want to watch yesterday's video on what lines I think you should start out as a new player. But anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're having a great Monday, And if you liked the video, please drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're on our way to 8,000 subscribers, thanks to you guys. And I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So again, guys, thanks for watching, and hope to catch all of you guys in the next one.